Hey guys, welcome to an updated version of the Legendary Event Farming Guide. Before we get this video started, I want to congratulate Toprak for winning the $10 Power Core giveaway. Below this video in the description should be my Twitter or my Discord so you can reach out. And also it's in the Ebony Maw video that was actually the Power Core giveaway video. So go ahead, reach out to me so you can claim your prize. I will do more giveaways in the future, so if you miss out this time, you can be in the running to win $10 worth of power cores in the next time that I do that. Alright, so let's get started on the video. For those that have seen my other videos in the past, I normally go through each character and how you farm them. So I went ahead and just made this nice little compact guide for you to see, and so we're going to go through each character individually, and these are the orders that they came out, and then I have two other little graphics to show off two as well. So Star-Lord, to farm Star-Lord, you need Ravengers or Guardians. Ever since he first came out, there's been 2 more Guardians added, and there's only been 1 more Guardian, I'm sorry, and that's Mantis. But Star-Lord is probably the easiest to get. You don't need to actually node farm any characters to get him. You can purely rely on Blitz Orbs and Raid Orbs. That is what I would recommend. If you want to use Arena Shards to go for, or Arena credits to go for Drax, you can do that too, but I would not go for Ravager Bruiser, and I would not farm Yondu or Ravager Bruiser either. If you're going to farm someone, go for Groot. He's useful in Dark Dimensions. He's useful on a Guardians team. He's useful on a BKT team, Best Kree team. Those teams consist of Star-Lord, Rocket, Groot, Thanos, and Minerva. That's a really good team, really good U6 raid team. Anyways, but again, I would go for Blitz and Raid Orbs. That's probably what I'm going to recommend across the board, is going for Blitz and Raid characters over the node farm characters, just because those farms get done a lot sooner than node farms and Arena and War. So that's pretty much it for Star-Lord. I would honestly say he's probably should be the first one you go for, just because he's so easy to get. Next up, the character that you want to go for the next character on the list is Nick Fury. To farm from Nick Fury, you need Kree minions. So luckily 2 out of the 3 node farms for the Kree minions are there's two spaces you can get them, 2 places you can get them, and that's Kree Reaper and Kree Cyborg. Kree Noble has only 1 farm, which sucks. She used to have 2. I forget who she got replaced by, and then you have Kree Royal Guard and Kree Oracle. Kree Royal Guard's in the Blitz store, and Kree Oracle's in the Raid. So again, I would go for Blitz Orbs and Raid Orbs if you're new to this game. If you only have 1 character left in the Raid Star, it is actually, I've done the math, and I'm not going to show it up on the screen, but it is technically like cheaper to just buy that character. So I only need to farm Namor, so whenever I see Namor, I purchase him and I save my Raid Orbs for if there's an orb opening event or anything like that. So yeah, across the board, if you see Raid or Blitz characters, I would just go for Blitz Orbs or Raid Orbs, unless there are only 1 character left that you need in those stores, and then you should start going for them individually. So that's it for Nick Fury. Let's go to Magneto. Magneto requires X-Men or Brotherhood characters. We recently had Toad and Blob added, but they are not farmable yet. And we also had Colossus become farmable in Hero 7.9. Sorry, Hero 7.9. I was able to beat it. I've also been playing for 700 plus days, so I know it's if you're newer to the game, that's probably a little bit away for people, but again, so you get Wolverine. I have in the node farm section. He's actually a daily reward. You get 5 shards per day. Probably the easiest character to farm for Magneto. Then I would go honestly for Sabretooth, and then Juggernaut, and then I would probably go for Mystique and Psylocke, just because they are easier to farm than Storm is. Storm's in Mystic 2 something, and again, Colossus is in 7.9 for heroes. I would not go for Pyro, just because war currency is so valuable, and you want to use it for either Sif or let's actually check out the war store real quick. Alright guys, so we're here in the war store. The only things that you should be purchasing in War are these superior unique items, these superior mini unique items. They always appear in this section. They're the bottom left orange gear. These are used to get your characters to from gear 13 to gear 14. These pieces are used to get your character from gear 12 to gear 13, and also from gear 13 to 14, but they're not as important as these. And then if I had Sif, I would have purchased her, but again, the only character you should be purchasing from this store is Sif. Especially because we were talking about Brotherhood, especially with all these options available. What I would recommend again is use Wolverine, Sabretooth, Juggernaut, Mystique, and Psylocke. I believe Psylocke's in Nexus, something in Nexus, and you can beat Nexus with Defenders, and then Mystique is in early Villains node. I don't know them off the top of my head, sorry about that, but that's who I would recommend for that. Now, if you do want to go for, you know, like building characters that you're going to use, honestly, all of these characters to earn Magneto are all pretty solid characters. They're all on pretty decent teams. X-Men is like probably the second most best team right now. Maybe they might be falling behind just because Inhumans are probably the best team in the game right now, and then maybe Hydra can give them a run for their money on war defense, but I still think that X-Men are very solid. I use them sometimes in Ultimate 7 to clear a node. So yeah, again, any of these characters, if you build up, you should be happy with, honestly. So we're going to move on to Shuri. Shuri requires Spider-Verse characters, so the characters that I would recommend for Shuri are these 3 Blitz characters, Spider-Man, Rhino, and Miles. And then Arena, I would go for Vulture, and then Raid, do the Raid Orbs, so you can get Mysterio. The reason why I recommend these 3, this is the quickest way to get her, is just because Mysterio and Vulture, you need to get Invisible Woman over here. And ranking up Spider-Man and Miles isn't a bad thing, especially if you're getting Shuri. Shuri is a necessity for Ultimate 7. So definitely you want to get her as soon as possible. So leveling up Miles and Spider-Man is not going to be a bad thing, especially with Symbiote Spider-Man coming out. That team is very solid and is a really good raid team as well. Now, if you want to do the safest route, you could just go for Sinister Six over here, because that's who you use for Invisible Woman. Again, it's ideally up to you if you want to get Shuri as quickly as possible. Going the Blitz route and getting Miles and Spider-Man along with Rhino, Vulture, and Mysterio will get you there quicker. But if you want to save as much resources, then Sinister Six is the way to go. So since we jumped from Shuri to Invisible Woman, let's go back and talk about Phoenix. Phoenix requires Mystic Villain controllers. So currently we have Mordo in the Arena store, we have Ronan in the Raid store, Nobu in the War store, and then Nobu is also a node farm, along with Loki, Hand Assassin, and Hela. Hela is in Villain 7-6. That is the newest campaign. I did not have any troubles with it, but you need Mystic Villains to get that shot, get there, and you have to beat Hero 7 to even get to Villain 7, which I don't think is fair and makes no sense, but it is what it is. It's what they decided. So ideally, what I'm gonna tell you to go for is Loki, Nobu, Hela, Mordo, and Ronan. Skip out on Hand Assassin. We're gonna call her Hand Ass for now. So if you hear me mention Hand Ass, that's Hand Assassin, but Hand Assassin is ass, so Hand Ass. Okay, so this was controversial because Hand Assassin, Hand Ass, sorry, is a terrible character, and you don't want to be farming her. So obviously go for Hela, but if you can't clear Villain 7 or even Hero 7 to get to Hela, then go for Hand Ass. Ideally, the best character level up in this situation is Hela, Nobu, Loki, Mordo, and Ronan, and skip out on Hand Ass, but that's not readily available for everyone. Okay, and finally, since we went over Invisible Woman when it came to Shuri, we're going to go over Black Bolt, the newest farmable character, or the newest legendary that has farmable characters. And for him, you need Asgardians. So that is Loki, Hela, Heimdall, Thor, and Sif. Again, Sif is in the War store, probably the most controversial farm for Black Bolt. Thor in the Raid store has been there for a while, so if you've been playing this game for a while, you probably have him at 7 stars. You need Loki to get Phoenix, so you might have him at 7 stars. Again, Hela's new. Heimdall has been in the Arena store for about 3-ish weeks, so I made good progress with Heimdall. He also had his own campaign event, similar to the most recent Toad event and the upcoming new Black Order chick. I forget her name. Proxima Midnight. That's who it is. That's right. So Thor, Heimdall, and Loki really shouldn't be too much trouble. The trouble comes from Hela and from Sif. Again, I would much rather be spending ideally spending my war currency so I can get into DD3, but now I have to spend it on Sif. And you know, with the new Ebony Maw coming out requiring Black Bolt, I definitely need to get my Sif up to 7 stars, and I can't. I was debating whether stopping at 6 stars, but once I heard about Ebony Maw, I'm like, I gotta get Sif up anyways. Alright, so now that we've covered all that, I want to real quickly just show you where everyone is at that you can currently use to farm people. Alright, so if I was starting the game fresh, from left to right is the character order on which I would go for these legendaries, starting with Star-Lord. The reason why I have Star-Lord over Phoenix is not because Star-Lord's the best. Star-Lord's probably somewhere tied at 6 or 7 with Nick Fury at this point. Maybe tied with Magneto. I would say Magneto and Nick Fury and Star-Lord are all 5, 6, 7. It depends on you know how you view it, but the reason why I say Star-Lord first is because I think he's probably the easiest one to get. Again, you should be going, if you're new, you should be going for Blitz Orbs and Raid Orbs. That way you cover a broad spectrum of people. So that's the only reason why he's there. And then I would say Phoenix. I would say Phoenix is still the best legendary. I know that's up for debate, but I think I would rather fight a team with Black Bolt on it and no Phoenix than I would rather fight a Phoenix team with no Black Bolt. Sorry if that doesn't make sense. I would rather face Black Bolt with a miscellaneous team than Phoenix with a miscellaneous team, and when it comes to arena. So that's why I still rank her higher. Black Bolt is really good in arena, and he's also really good in raids as well. So it depends on what you prioritize. But again, I think Phoenix should probably be the second legendary you should be aiming for. But all those characters are really hard to farm. So again, you're going to be wanting to building up to where you can farm Phoenix. And then I would also say Black Bolt is third, just because Sif being in the war store is kind of troublesome, and it's just, that's really RNG based. So again, that's why I say Black Bolt third. Then you want Shuri fourth. I think she's probably the second easiest character to get, just because there is 3 Blitz characters for her, and then 1 in the raid store and 1 in arena. So lots of easy characters to get. Spider-Verse, and this is the order that I would farm them in and prioritize. So Blitz, again, you want to go for Blitz Orbs. Raid, you're going to want to go for Raid Orbs. War, I really should just put Sif up here, not to confuse people, but skip out on anyone to the right of Sif. You don't need them. And then arena as well. I do actually have Heimdall before Mordo, and I think that's a mistake. I'm sorry about that, but Mordo or Heimdall, either way you go, won't be a big deal. And then Invisible Woman requires Sinister 6th. The reason why she is 5th is just because Yo-Yo probably replaces her as a solid protector that doesn't necessarily need to be on Inhumans. I use Yo-Yo. I don't have Black Bolt unlocked yet. I use Yo-Yo on U7, and I have no problem clearing what I need to clear for my alliance. And then finally, Nick Fury and Magneto, you can probably swap those two. I would say, you know, you can really argue, since Magneto's new Brotherhood with Toad and Blob can beat Nick Fury's Coulson Shield War Defense. But again, I think Nick Fury is really solid. I used him in Dark Dimensions 2 to unlock Ultron, and that's why I kind of am placing him before Magneto. Again, it's all up to you. This is just what I would probably go for in my mind, but again, it's not ideal. You're not going to be able to get to Mystic whatever in the first day or in the first week. So go for what you can, but know where you're prioritizing. And then finally, I just want to show this final graphic over here. And these characters right here are all you can farm. You can get them using different people. There's not like, so Black Bolt requires Asgardians. There's only 5 Asgardians. Nick Fury requires Kree minions. There's only 5 Kree minions. So it's not up for debate who you should go for, but this is just who I would go for in this situation. So that's going to do it for this video. Again, be subscribed, because I'm going to do future giveaways. You have to be subscribed to win. Look out for more videos. I do a video pretty much every Sunday, just going over a recap for the week, and then I have a couple videos in the docket ready to go over when it comes to how much gold you're getting, you know, best teams, best characters, all that good stuff. So you want to be subscribed for that. But other than that, thanks for watching. I hope you have a great day. Bye.